I think Unity has a lot more potential other than gaming. We know it's a 3D creator engine, but what makes Unity special is that they're interactive and real time. They have two lines of business: Create, which is a subscription service, and Operate, which is their monetization service. And of course, they have the strategic partnerships. They've had good revenues, excellent growth over the 9 months year to date, and they cover 4 major industries. They have solid management, and you can just go on any con call and just see how excited their management always is. Of course, they just acquired Vita, which is the fantastic company that brought us Lord of the Rings. And they say their TAM is about $45 billion dollars. But where I think they excel is here. I think this is where the potential lies, in the commercial space. And they've said it as well, that you can realistically visualize, for example, the HVAC airflow in a digital twin for a building. And I understand from my context that Unity is going to be a big player in the industrial market very soon. The market is going digital 3D through AR and VR, and they're partnering with people like Audi, VW, and Nike. So let's have a quick look at the numbers. Steady, strong growth, strong margins, earnings beats, and of course, we've busted the analyst pricing. For this year, they're guiding lower than what analysts expect. I've taken a 30% increase next year, and I come to a price of $225, which is not a lot of upside, but in a year's time, a lot can change. We still have some risks, and they're not making profits as yet. Their goodwill's growing, and their stock comp is almost half of their last year's losses. Competition is fierce. You have competition on the gaming side, and of course, Microsoft and Meta might make their own engine someday. So my bull thesis is 3D: democracy, distribution, and dominate. With Unity, anyone can be a creator, which is amazing. And as Alberto said, the platforms and the metaverse already exist. And finally, their partnerships. They can partner with almost anyone to increase their TAM. I like to say there's always a story behind the numbers, and I think the numbers and the story is really strong with Unity. Thank you.
So let's look at Unity's technicals. So if we look at the normal chart, we can see that there's a break from an upward channel on earnings, which, as Ayesha said, were incredibly strong. We can see a support level if there is a retracement from a gap early on this year, but also given the fact that we've just broken an all-time high, that will present a massive psychological support for any technical traders. Now, even before the earnings, the 50 MA was comfortably above the 2 MA. I would expect a bit of retracement and some profit taking, but there's nothing to suggest with the MAs that the trend is going to reverse. And the 10 EMA, the 10 exponential moving average, lends credence to this. The price has always respected this line, most recently as a support. Again, there's a lot of distance between the price and that EMA, so expect a bit of a retracement. Now, this is more of a be aware of than anything else. Look at the RSI and look how overbought it is. In a trending market, it doesn't mean anything. I don't expect any massive reversal here. Don't use the RSI in a trending market. If we look at the volume, though, it has peaked and is waning, so expect a little bit of profit taking. Moving on to the summary, exactly as I've said, don't wait for the RSI to enter. Expect profit taking. Watch out for the MA crossover, and volume is reducing. A hold or sell for the short term.
You kind of mentioned this as one of your risks, but do you think that there's a risk that Unity gets boxed out from game development or even some of these other kind of metaverse type applications because large developers are going to start using their own proprietary tools, and that like smaller, particularly game developers, are going to use something like Roblox that already has an inbuilt audience?
Look, I don't think they'll get boxed out per se. I think the competition will be strong. Okay, so Roblox is already a big player in the market. And in fact, Facebook actually made a bid for Unity once upon a time in 2015. But if Facebook and Microsoft and all these people are building out their own platform, I think Unity just fits in very nicely. And if you listen to the conference call, and if you listen to what the CEO says, he's brilliant, by the way he speaks is brilliant. And if you see what he says that, you know, everybody's building stovepipes and we're just building across it. So they're just going to rise with the tide. I think there will be competition in certain areas, but overall, I think they benefit.
I'm concerned with Unity that the valuation is too rich, and as more competition comes into the space, with Epic Games, Amazon, that they could see a valuation compression. Long term, that probably won't matter, but short term, that's one of the risks that I believe is present, especially after the huge run up last couple of weeks.
No, absolutely. And I don't think you're wrong. I think the valuation is pretty rich right here. But as you say, we're in it for the long run, right? And everything that I am talking about today is something that I see materializing over the next 3 to 5 years, for example. I mean, you yourself said the metaverse is not coming within the next 5 to 10 years, right? So I think for now, yes, the valuation looks rich, and this is because of the market as a whole, not so much to do with the company on its own, right? But I think in the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to be reaching a sweet spot in the valuation, and I think it grows into its valuation very nicely.
Yeah, Ayesha. So, given Unity is still not profitable and that they're surviving on goodwill at the moment, given that they're going to be competing against people with already massive user bases, do you see them more as a merger and acquisition target, or do you think they can become a solo flyer all by themselves?
So look, I think from the direction that you get from the CEO, and seeing as how they said no to previous bids, I don't think they will let themselves be acquired. Let's put it that way. I think they're very happy doing what they're doing, and I think they know that they're an engine that can go cross-platform. So and they have something, they have a product or that is kind of superior. So I doubt that they would like to be acquired. I mean, if they are, it will be a hostile takeover and not an acquisition.